All right, guys, I need to start this video off with a little bit of bad news. This is probably the last video I'm going to be able to do for quite a while. Things are really hectic at work with my family, and you also know that it's April Fool's Day, so I had to start off by messing with you all.
Got him!
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm just kidding. Let's talk about Ronald Jones's contract details that recently came out, an interview from Patrick Mahomes, Antonio Brown shenanigans, Bobby Wagner's new deal, and much more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL overall. So make sure to sub if you're new around here, hit that like button, and let's get into this news. We got Ronald Jones's contract details yesterday. John Dixon from Arrowhead Pride breaks it down as follows. According to SpotTrack, that $1.5 million consists of a base salary of $1.25 million plus a signing bonus of $250,000. This means that $500,000 of his base salary is guaranteed for the coming season. Jones will now be earning a slightly higher base salary than he did during the last year of his rookie contract in Tampa Bay, which was $1.44 million plus another $250,000 paid at signing and the opportunity to earn another $3.5 million. Just like Smith-Schuster, Jones's 2021 production was relatively low. Just 3 games started with 428 rushing yards and 4 TDs. This means it would have been possible to create not likely to be earned incentives that Jones would consider easy to attain, giving the Chiefs some leverage to sign the former Buccaneer to a contract that helps them navigate their 2022 salary cap problems. I don't even know what problems we have right now with Hill being gone, but yeah, this is the last of the Kansas City contracts for which we had no details. So with this information in hand, we can now say that the Chiefs have $14.6 million in cap space. So there we go. The Chiefs are continuing to make smart moves here with these contracts. Devin Clement says the Chiefs managed to sign MVS, Ronald Jones, and Jermaine Carter Jr. for what ended up being just $8 million in total cap space in 2022. Brett Veach keeps winning. What are your thoughts so far on these moves? I know some of you will say, well, we need playmakers and true impact players on the defensive side of the ball. And it really seems to me that Veach and company are going after solid depth over star power these days, at least right now. We can't forget that we have 12 draft picks and that more moves can still be made before the draft as well, and likely will be. Because yeah, we're still in the market for a veteran cornerback among other needed positions as well. And then Patrick Mahomes was interviewed by Brian Sozzi from Yahoo Finance yesterday and asked about a handful of different things, but first about the new postseason overtime rule change. Mahomes said, yeah, I wish it happened a couple years earlier when I played against Tom in the playoffs, but I've had it both ways. So what the rules are what the rules are. It'll change your gameplay on how you do overtime. Do you get the ball first, or do you see if they get the ball first and then plan for a field goal or a touchdown? There's ways you're going to have to scheme and do things, and it will depend on the team and how things are going. He understands the rule change in some ways for the playoffs, but seems to like the idea that it doesn't change for the regular season. You don't want to just continue to add quarters on guys as you continue to add games, and you know, every play is another shot on your body. He feels like there will be moments when we will like the rule change and other moments that we will not like it. But either way, he said he's just going to go out there and try to win whatever way possible. Mahomes then spoke on Tom Brady's comeback and said it didn't really sink in that Tom was even retiring in the first place because of all that he had on his plate with the wedding and all that stuff going on in his life. But before he knew it, Brady was back. He then said, until I see there's an NFL game actually played and he's not in the league, I don't think I'll ever truly believe that he's retired. Mahomes says he wants to play as long as the league will let him. He wants to continue taking care of his body, to build his family the right way, and making sure those relationships are great even before football. He said this, if you want to play as long as Tom has, you need to do things like that in order to have longevity in this league. Brian then asks Mahomes how he plans to improve next year and get better year after year, and Mahomes responded with, You've got to learn from your mistakes, take away the positives, and be better the next year because everyone else is getting better, especially our division. One of the main things he wants to improve next season is getting better in the pocket. He's been able to make a lot of things happen outside the pocket, but he's played long enough in the league now that teams have plenty of tape on him, and they're trying to do all they can to not let him outside the pocket and make those things happen. Because of that, he says, quote, "I need to continue to get better inside the pocket, getting the ball out of my hands and take what's there when defenses play these real deep coverages against me." I also found it worth noting that he talks about being part owner of the Royals, a little bit of part owning Sporting KC and AirShare, all Kansas City-based companies. He, quote, "tries to invest in places like this because they invest in me, and they do it the right way." He ends the interview by saying being a father changes your life. So now that he has a wife and a daughter, everything I do now is for them, building a legacy that he will one day be able to leave to his kids. And I find that very commendable because I have a wife and 2 daughters myself, and everything I do, including getting up at 3:50 a.m. to make these videos, is for them. But hey, since we're on the subject of family, Marquez Valdez-Scantling was recently interviewed by Mitch Holthus on Defending the Kingdom, and Mitch was asking him about his mom and his stepdad, and he said his mom is the brains behind everything. She's taught him so much, got him into real estate, taught him business stuff, and also is the person who got him in touch with his agent. He said she's the real deal. Regarding his stepdad, he's been a part of Marquez's life since he was a baby, and he had this to say about him.
He's meant everything to me. I don't even call him stepdad. He's my dad. That's why I have his last name. He's my role model, the person I want to grow to be like, in every aspect. I think he's a hell of a man, and anything that he would ever need, it wouldn't be a question. And the best part about the whole thing is throughout my entire life, he's never asked me for anything, to come in and raise me the way he did and support me the way he did. And I'm forever grateful for him.
He then contributed the Tyreek Hill trade being a huge part of the equation of him coming to KC. Initially, he wasn't even interested in the Chiefs the first time they reached out, but said they actually circled back later and mentioned Tyreek Hill being traded as a possibility, and his mindset changed. So he decided to take a flight to KC to chat and ended up coming back home a Kansas City Chief. He then contributed 2 other factors as well: that he could wear number 11, the number he wore in college, and a bit of a different one here. He also said he loves the grass.
For starters, I love the grass. Definitely have one of the better grasses in the NFL.
He's played in a lot of stadiums, and Arrowhead has some of the best grass he's played on. So, shout out to the freaking lawn guy at Arrowhead for helping us recruit MVS to the Chiefs. You're the real MVP. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. In NFL news, let's look at Deshaun Watson's contract and cap figures for a second here. His salaries are all fully guaranteed, and look at 23, 24, 25, and 2026. $46 million salary with a cap hit of $54.993 million. I'm sure there will be some bonus conversions and stuff like that in future years, but this is insane. The Browns either struck gold or royally screwed themselves for years to come. I understand the mindset here though, because what do we as Chiefs fans say? As long as we have Mahomes, we always have a chance. Fans at Green Bay, I'm sure, say the same thing. As long as we have Aaron Rodgers, we always have a chance. Patriots said that about Brady, and I'm sure the Bills are saying that about Josh Allen. As long as we have Josh Allen, there's always a chance. So I think what the Browns are saying here, as long as we have a top-tier QB like Deshaun Watson, there will always be a chance. Do you agree with that mindset? Let me know in the comments down below either way. And then Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner is inking a 5-year, $50 million deal worth up to $65 million with the Los Angeles Rams. Not bad for a 31-year-old linebacker, huh? I mean, he's a stud. He's a baller. I'm sure also the contract is not technically 5-year, $50 million, but that's what has been initially reported. Former teammate and friend Russell Wilson congratulated him, saying, "You deserve it all, legend. As we always say, don't get bored with consistency. Love you forever, bro." It's pretty cool, really, because Wagner was born in LA and is going back to where it all began for him, still playing in the same division as he wanted. And then Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy says that even though there is a need for an edge rusher on defense, he does not want to move linebacker Micah Parsons permanently to that position, as he believes it limits his versatility, and that versatility is what makes him so dangerous. It would be very easy to just line him up at the end and play him there every down, but the fact of the matter is he had 13 sacks? 7 came from the linebacker position, 6 from the defensive end position. And guys, that is crazy to me. Micah Parsons is the real deal. Can he come to the Chiefs? What do we got to do to bring this man over? It's crazy. And then former Broncos tight end Noah Fant spoke out about his frustration with how he was used in Pat Shurmur's offense. In Fant's view, he's a field-stretching weapon, but was primarily utilized as an outlet with run-after-catch ability. And anyway, I found this part of his interview very crazy. He said that he found out he was being traded to the Seahawks from reports on the freaking TV. How crazy is that? He found out from the television that he was being traded. Not from coaches, not from his agent, from the TV. What do you guys think about that? I know the NFL is a business and stuff, but dude, that's nuts. I mean, this guy's going to be picking up his life and moving to a completely different state. And they weren't even like, yo, just so you know, you're going to be moving. I know you don't have a say in the matter, but hey, we wish you well. Nothing. That's crazy. I'm sure he talked to them after he found out, but that's insane. And then Antonio Brown was recently interviewed by TMZ and had some interesting things to say. The 33-year-old wideout still thinks he can put up big numbers. He sees what these guys are getting paid, guys like Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams, and then he wonders why his value isn't being upheld the same. I can't say this with a straight face, sorry. He was asked about his ankle, if he's gotten surgery, and how the recovery of that surgery is going, and this was his response. He said, well, I need to get my ankle fixed, but I just want to make sure I got an obligation or a commitment from a team. It's a lot for a guy to go do surgery without an idea of where you're going to work or who you are going to work for. Okay, so he wants to be valued as a top receiver pay-wise like Devontae Adams or Tyreek Hill, yet leaves the Buccaneers because he said they were trying to make him play injured, yet won't go and get that injury fixed before a team says, yeah, we want you to play for us next season. I'm not fully understanding the logic. You would think he would have immediately addressed the ankle, gotten surgery, and have almost been rehabbed by now, so he could have said, hey guys, I got the problem fixed, I'm almost rehabbed, and I'm ready to go for whatever team wants me next. Let's get it. So yeah, I don't understand. That is a very odd way to go about things. I will not lie to you all. And then Carson Wentz posted some photos yesterday on his Instagram with the caption that reads, building a higher road. And I'm taking that as a subtle dig at the recent comments Colts GM Jim Irsay said about him, calling him a mistake, a guy who lacked leadership in the locker room, and more than that, honestly. And I kind of like Wentz's approach here, to be honest, and he was actually baller enough to build this into an ad, which is even more creative, but I'm not sure if I could remain silent on the issue like he has been so far, because what Jim Irsay said about him was very messed up, to be honest. And then Bruce Arians had a press conference yesterday for his retirement announcement and all that stuff. And before he took the podium, it was actually announced that he will be inducted into the Buccaneers Ring of Honor this season, which is pretty cool. Arians himself said it was an honor. When you know it's time, it's time. He then said he does not care about the Hall of Fame and that succession is much more important to him. He also said he likes his new job title, though they all need to figure out what that even really means. He then said that him and Brady have a great relationship, shot down rumors of a rift, and he said all the players, every one of them has gotten cussed out by me, including Brady. That's just part of who I am. He then said reporters just write to write and make headlines, but there is no rift with Brady, and that could not be farther from the truth. He even said they text weekly about golf and other stuff like that. And he then complimented Todd Bowles, calling him the brightest guy he has ever coached. And speaking of Todd Bowles, Bowles himself said it took about a day or so to digest the information about Arians' retirement, but he's excited for the opportunity. He did confirm, though, that he will still continue to call the defense in 2022, which is confusing to me personally because the Buccaneers also announced Larry Foote and Casey Rogers, who will now be co-defensive coordinators for the team. So you now have two defensive coordinators and the head coach will be calling the defense. Very weird to me, at least. What do you guys think about all of this? Do you think it'll be smooth sailing for the Bucs next season or an absolute train wreck? Let me know your thoughts here. I mean, with Brady still at the helm, with the GOAT still at the helm, I think, in theory, everything will be fine. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Make sure to sub for more daily news like this and check out this video here from the previous day's news in case you missed it. So until next time, let's go. How about those